Hello, welcome to this week's edition of WCS Sports Connection. I'm your co-host, Jimmy Qualls, and with me as always is our resident high jump and track specialist, Tate Mathews. Tate, speaking of high jump and track and field, the track state championships are happening this week. Pentathlon, decathlon's already happened last week. No surprises here. WILLCO finalists are everywhere right now and being super successful.
No doubt about it, and got a boys win and a girls win. Avery McMullen comes in with the pentathlon win by more than 500 points.
More
now,
than 500.
For those that are not
that would be a
pentathlon experts, that is Popcorn City.
That is Popcorn City. Put your boat captain, river boat captain hat on. That would be about, Mr. Producer, about like if me and him had the pentathlon. I would win by 500 points.
I don't know. What's in the pentathlon? Are there any throwing events?
There's plenty. Here's what she won, by the way. She tied for the high jump. She won the shot put and won the log jump. And just what you do, 500 points, victory. Just
dominating.
Just had to cruise, man. There's a little bit of strategy involved too. When you win these field events and you get to those running events like she does, she had such a lead to me, man. We just cruise on now. Knowing her, she wants to win them all and do it. She had a couple runner-ups in a couple of those events, but hats off to Avery McMullen of Centennial.
Without a doubt, very proud for her. That's big, and that's big for Centennial High School, Centennial Track. Everything about it, 2 thumbs up.
Well, she's also up for track, female track athlete of the year at the WILLCOs. I think she would be the early favorite for that one.
She was my early favorite, yes.
Okay.
She's up for athlete of the year as well, right?
Yes. Jet Kinder on the other side for Brentwood repeats as a state decathlon champion, moves into the #1 national rankings according to Mile Split. That's pretty big, nationally recognized, if you will.
Yes.
He scored 7,777 points. I think if you look at this, any time that you score over the 7,000 point range in a decathlon is pretty monumental, and he beat the next place by 162 points.
Back-to-back, got a chance to go for 3 next year. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. He is also up for WILLCO finalists as well in the boys track athlete of the year. On the tennis side, what do? We just keep winning. WCS Sports Conference owns Spring Fling, did last year, does this year. We're going to talk a little bit about that. On the tennis side, Brentwood girls and boys looking for not a first time, not a second time, not a third time, but a 4-peat state championship.
That's pretty strong. And I know we've had back-to-backs, but no 4-peats, right? I know that predates you, but I don't think even with all the success they've had in tennis, have we had? I know Ravenwood has, but has Brentwood had a 4-peat? I don't think they have.
I'm not certain, but he had some individuals like Summer Hendrick came through it, won multiple state championships on the individual side. This is obviously the team side. We've got Brentwood going to face off on the on the girls' side against Murfreesboro Central. On the boys' side, Brentwood will face Science Hill. Obviously, when you get to this level, you're in the Final Four, 2 victories away from.
And Science Hill is a traditional. You can usually count on them coming out of the East. So, I think this Brentwood team's the favorite, but it will be a tough match.
I failed to mention something. I do want to go down that on Jet Kinder. The things that he won in that decathlon, if you start breaking it down, pole vault, discus, he won by 8 feet. That's like a mile. Triple jump, long jump, tied in the high jump. Look what he jumped in the high jump. Now this is a decathlete. Usually that's traditionally stays in that 6'4" range, and you're thinking you're doing something winning by 6'4", 6'6". He jumped 6'8", and then he also won the shot put. So I mean, this guy also has going to be in the individual track and field meet as well, and going to be a favorite in a lot of these.
So. Well, and the cool thing is Brentwood, the defending state champion in boys track, right? Now they go into Monday, Tuesday. We're already a leg up on everybody, so everybody else is playing catch up now.
You kind of think you start looking back at this Director's Cup. We're 10 days away from giving that.
I think that one's over.
Yeah, you come back from 10 days away from giving out the Division I, Division II Director's Cup, and they're just piling on the points, even though it's out of that Pool B. Summit picks up a lot of points, making into the winning the district #1 and then getting into the state tournament. Mm-hmm. Indy will pick up 5 bonus points, obviously, with their baseball team getting into the state tournament. But like you said, Brentwood racking up those secondary points on stuff like tennis. You got both boys and girls team won the district. Then you've got both boys and girls representation team-wise for Brentwood, and it could be the favorite to sweep.
That's right.
The whole thing. picking up points there. Then you go to the soccer, and then you go. I mean, it's just on and on and
That's
on.
that's why I think it's over.
Yeah,
I mean,
and on the Division II side, Nolensville's the same way. They're kind of running away
Right.
with the competition in that. On the soccer side, though, Brentwood beat Smyrna 3-2 in the sectionals. Will face Rossview. Ravenwood lost to Station Camp 3-1. Station Camp currently undefeated on the season. Brentwood, Battle of the Woods happened, I think, for the 4th time.
Yep.
What do we know about that?
Well, you mentioned one, no shame in losing Station Camp. They're the 2-time defending state champion. So not only have they not been beat, they're the 2-time defending state champion. The neat thing is Brentwood got to get to the Smyrna game, obviously, they had to beat Ravenwood again, and they did that, and then they defeated them 3-2. So Ravenwood is still, Brentwood is still undefeated on the season. They have, I believe it's 17 victories, 0 losses, 1 tie. I'll give you one guess who the 1 tie is.
Let me guess. Rossview.
Very good, Dr. Qualls. You've done your homework. Rossview, meet in the first round. No good, but hey, like you said, once you get there, it's they're all good, so they're all going to be tough games. But I know Station Camp's the defending state champion, 2-time defending state champion, and they're unbeaten. But I think Brentwood's the favorite going into this. And then you look at that bracket over there. They're in there with Rossview, and then they'll get the winner of Oakland and Bearden. You got Station Camp over there with Carnes. Would you like to take a gander? These are my East Tennessee roots coming at me. Would you like to take a gander of what the Carnes mascot is?
I don't even want to guess.
The Beavers.
I do
Anyways,
not know.
So
that.
Station
I know
Camp has
that
the Beavers, Cookeville has Houston.
I know that Bearden is the returning champions because they beat Ravenwood last year, if I'm not mistaken, in the state championship game. I'm going to have to go back, Mr. Producer, check me on that. It may have been 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're going to lose that one.
But I do know that Bearden's in
Point
there.
being, Brentwood's playing great.
Homchenko.
Homchenko, WILLCO finalist.
Watch
He's
him.
balling. Blake
Watch him.
Chalfant. Man, it's they got a lot of good things going.
Speaking of balling, another Wilco's finalist for the View, for the Jackets, the All-American Brandon Parrish wins this thing in walk-off fashion against White House in the sectionals for the Jackets to punch their tickets to the AA state championships in soccer. What do we know about that game?
Well, it's the second time they've gone. You talk about Brandon Parrish, the junior All-American, came up big. They were down, and he came back, scored 2 goals, 2 of the 3 goals to get them through there.
This guy's like video game. If it's like Madden or FIFA soccer,
FIFA,
whatever,
yeah.
man. I mean, it's
No
like
doubt.
controlling this
He's a
guy.
junior,
I mean,
man.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So it was huge. Now, I did see one quote where they said they're a second-half team. That's got to change in Murfreesboro, right? And I know Coach Smith's talked to them about that. But, man, we've talked about so many firsts and so many neat things that have gone with how Fairview's athletics has – and there's always been tradition there. But, man, the overall athletic department is just doing things in the past 3-4 years that they haven't done in forever. And for Fairview soccer, again, if we had been talking about this 10, 12 years ago, Fairview soccer is going back-to-back to the state tournament. That's huge, man, and he's a big part of it. Just a junior, I think they got a chance to win. And the neat thing is they got beat by Sycamore in the district finals, and then came back and worked their way through and beat them in the region or whatever. It's huge, big time.
Well, they faced Loudoun County 15-4-3 in the opening round. Also in that AA bracket, Lexington, Greenville, Cumberland County, Sevier County, Dyersburg Beach. Can Fairview get there, man? Can they go the distance in this thing?
I think they can. I don't know a whole lot about those guys on the other side, but I don't know that. The competition, kind of like what we talk about, and we're getting ready to get to it. 11 AAA baseball, the competition that they've played to get there, I think they're battle tested. I don't know that some of those other guys are.
Well, I hope that stays true. I hope it goes to chalk and they do go to distance. That'd be awesome for Fairview to get that state championship in soccer. Best of luck to them and Brentwood boys as they move forward in that process. This spring fling is a massive event. You take the track and field, you take the tennis, and then you take the soccer, and you've got all the classifications, and then you get to softball and baseball, which is a beast of itself, and the complex that you got to have to pull this thing off. And the WCS Sports Conference gets 3 teams. First time ever, we got 3 teams in the baseball state championships.
Oh, yeah, very cool. Well, I guess we could have gotten in 4.
4 would
but,
be the max.
Yeah, that would be unheard of. And it was really neat. And the thing that I think is really cool, I was talking to Coach McClory about it this weekend is, there have been years where Brentwood and Ravenwood have both got in, but this year we've got 2 teams from the South, with both Summit and Independence going. I think that's pretty neat. The border battle, whatever. Both sides of the border battle are making it, and I think both of them, they're different, but they're similar. I think they both have a chance to win, but it's both going to be on the mound.
I want to talk about real quick before we get deep into the weeds on who played who and how they got there. Talk about the WILLCO's category for baseball.
Tough.
This, I went back and looked at the past and looked at some of our alumni. This is year 5. It's pretty awesome. You start looking at the numbers of people who are coming in. 400 people only have been to this event on the individual level, less than 400.
Yep.
And we've got people now graduating college and potentially playing professional sports or going into the business world, whatever the case. But it's pretty neat to see that first class that we have. But when you start looking at quality for every finalist, and I like to think that every one of our finalists in the last 5 years have been quality. But you've got Zane Denton.
Yep.
You've got Chris McElvain.
And you've got Robert Hassel.
And Robert Hassel. You talk about those 3 guys.
Tough.
Who didn't make the list? A top 80 invitee to the MLB camp in Blake Money. Right?
Yes.
Zane Denton, those 3 guys, including Blake Money, all on the 2011 Little League team that made it to the World Series.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Zane Denton hit the Grand Slam to beat Delaware. Robert Hassel, I think, led the team in home runs. McElvain was catching. I mean, just think about that.
Yeah.
Those guys have progressed up this ladder. Now you've got, out of those 4 that we mentioned, the 3 obviously got the gold tickets, but 2 of those 4 are top 80 invitees to this 3-week camp in Florida, but the Major League Baseball puts on. Great chance that if you're invited to that camp that you're going to be a top 80 draft pick. And then you look at these other guys. Zane's going to be going to Alabama. Chris is committed to Vandy. Hassel, Vandy. Blake Money, LSU. I mean, this is. I don't know that we've ever had this quality of individuals in this sport.
At the same time, you're probably right.
At the same time.
Yeah, I mean, probably right. Heck, you got two Vanderbilts, and then, I'm pretty sure Money could have gone wherever he wanted. Probably Denton as well. So, that's what's. It's unbelievable. You could almost have an SEC team just with WILLCO products. Probably could.
I mean, it's testament to this area. It's a testament to our conference. I mean, as a whole, and I mean, it's just the level of talent. I try to explain to people. I tell them the exact same thing that we just talked about, and they just kind of look at you. I was like, I don't think you understand that you've got potentially all 3 of those kids are. A great chance they're going to be drafted at some point in time in their career, whether it's this coming up year and they never go to college or they go to college for a year or 2, then boom, they're in it.
They're all, barring injury, at some point, they're all getting drafted.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. Well, I mean, you got, Hassel coming in here and he's going 14, 15 plus strikeouts a game, a no-hitter all the way up until the last, or give up maybe a bloop single or something along the way. McElvain's touching 91. Blake Money's touching 92, 94. I mean, these guys. Here's the difference, I think. I talked to Coach Kirby over the weekend. I think here's the difference for Summit going into the state tournament. I think for the first time he has got 3 really, really high-caliber arms. I think he's got 3 great players, Bryson, Chris, and Blake, all 3, 1, 2, 3. You know that. You're going to have to find that 4th guy, and I think he's got him as well that can hold the ship down if you need them. But, going with these, if you happen to be in an elimination bracket and you have to play that doubleheader to get out, or in the championship game, you've got to have those guys and start playing the numbers game and the strategy about how many pitches they're thrown and how many days off, and play, if I throw this guy one day, I can't save him for tomorrow because there is no tomorrow. If you've got that many to choose from, I think you've got a good opportunity to make some noise here, if not win it. But the problem, the Achilles heel right now for Summit is just purely scoring runs.
That's right.
But as long as these guys are throwing and they're keeping that run total for the for the opposition down below 2 and 3, you've always got a chance. So I mean,
we saw it a few years ago when they were there. I think the main thing is, you have to talk to him, is you want to stay out of that loser's bracket, man. You always want to, but especially in this. So I think you got to go ahead and get that first one. But if you're talking about the two teams that we've got in AAA, they've got the most arms. Now, and this is a big statement. I'm not saying this, is definite, but it's hard to argue that Hassel might not be, especially right now, the most dominant one. He's got 15. He got 15 Ks the other night against Station Camp on the road. It's the second do or die game in the postseason. Remember with the Brentwood? Well, that wasn't a do. Yeah, it was a do or die because Summit was already in. So in the district tournament, he pitched 15. He had 15 Ks in that game, didn't he, to win that one? So this is the second do or die, win or go home game. We put Hassel on the mound.
Defensively, he's doing
15 Ks.
Offensively, he's doing it. You know what this reminds me of? Greg Glass's team.
Oh, okay.
When a young man by the name of Grayson Murphy put his team on his back.
That was Independence.
And took them all the way to the semis. This is a carbon copy. This guy, look, it's a team
sport. They ought
sport.
to bring you in on Tuesday. Let you give the speech for the game. McClory's not a huge pregame speech guy. He needs to let you do it.
It's one of those things where right now Chad Kirby's rolling his eyes. But it's a team sport. It takes everybody. Robert Hassel will tell you that too.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But if Robert Hassel doesn't go out there and get 15 strikeouts, we may not even be talking about it.
No. And cool thing too, 3 hits, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. McIlvain, he goes all the way for Hendersonville, 3 hits.
Well, there's other people. I mean, I know that some of their all-district guys, I don't have the list sitting in front of me. I know Montana Dickerson sticks out to my head. He coming in relief and doing some things for Indy. But let's talk about how they got there. Summit defeats Hendersonville 3-1 in the sectionals to get in. Hendersonville has a player of their own, if I'm not mistaken, an underclassman that is a really highly touted kid. I think he may be a freshman or a sophomore, touching in the low mid-90s, and was throwing in the low 90s when he was 14.
Problem was he was going against another one who's throwing in the low mid-90s.
That's true. So. That's true.
Hey, and I don't know if you know this. I thought this was really cool. Trey Hunter.
Yep.
All 3 RBIs. So, you say, man, we got to give the MVP of the game ball to McIlvain, right? Well, Trey Hunter, so really cool and big for him. That was a big night for him. But, a lot of guys that put in on all that, and you're not there where you are. But, yeah, Hendersonville's a good program, but I think that both of them will tell you this. Hendersonville, Station Camp, both right up there in Sumner County. The amount of 1-run, 2-run, 3-run games that was in District 11 AAA all year long, I think that's the difference. I mean, those guys are – if you can just – you say it every year at the beginning once we get to tournament time. If you can just make it out of the dang district tournament, just the district tournament, we got a chance to get 2 in every year.
Independence, they beat Station Camp 1-0 in the sectionals. What do we know about that particular game and Independence's run right now?
Real easy. They were on the road. They won 1-0, and Robert Hassel threw 15 Ks.
Simple.
I think he threw 102 pitches.
So you start looking at this bracket.
And Station Camp's good.
I'm going to ask that question. You know where I'm going.
Can we have an all-WILLCO final?
Could it be an all WCS Sports Conference final?
Yeah, we can.
How unbelievable.
That'd be really cool.
Holy cow, that would be awesome.
The border battle.
The border battle. I can already see the T-shirts we're making up right now. I'm going to have them printed and ready to go. Summit 25-11, top half of the bracket. Here's who's in that top half of the bracket.
Hey, real quick, read their records too, though, because I'd like to see. That 11, that doesn't bother me at all. Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. But people are looking at that thinking y'all ought to beat them, right?
Right.
Summit obviously got a tougher draw. If you had to rank the lower bracket and upper bracket, I think Summit may be in a little bit of a tougher bracket. But once again, battle tested, who is and who's not. So you look at this, Summit 25-11, going to have to face against opening round against Science Hill, who's 27-12. And then below that would be Bartlett, 31-12, and Farragut, 38-3. Farragut, if you remember, end up putting in, they end up winning it, I think, 2 years ago. Was that Will Dalton? Siegel put Will Dalton out, the Summit team out, but I think Farragut ended up winning that year.
Possibly.
Maybe Siegel won it, but Farragut put Ravenwood out. That's who it was, and Teddy Craig and that group out a couple of years ago. But 38-3, obviously they got some good things going at Farragut.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the last 20, 25 years, they are the AAA baseball program in the state.
They got good when you left.
That's
That's
right.
the top bracket. The lower half of the bracket, Bradley Central 22-14 will face off against Riverdale 25-12, and then Arlington 18-16, Indy 25-11. I feel like they got a really
I do
strong
too.
draw. The ping pong balls fell in their order this time. Look, that's part
Hey,
of the
they're
deal,
the Grizzlies or the Pelicans.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's part of that deal. And it's, you got to have a little luck. You got to stay healthy. And you got to be good. All three, got a shot. Independence, Arlington, you want to make a prediction right there?
Yeah, man, because we're putting.
Let's do it.
I think, right? You
Let's
have to throw
non-
Hassel, right?
Let's start non-Wilco. Bradley Central, Riverdale.
Oh, Bradley Central.
Bradley Central. All right, I'm going to put them in. And then you got Bartlett, Farragut. I think we both agree that Farragut's going to
The
roll.
Admirals.
Yes, going to roll. All right, here we go. Summit, Science Hill,
Come on, man.
McIlvain. Check that.
Do they throw money and have McIlvain catch?
I think that's what you do.
I do
it's
too.
I think it's your best combination.
I do too.
I think Blake Money comes in, McIlvain at catcher, Summit
Wins.
in a very low-scoring affair.
Yeah, it's like 3-1.
But you know
3-0.
what? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're
Doesn't
moving
matter.
on.
Summit. Then you have your Summit Farragut second round matchup right there. That would be TV worthy. All right, Independence.
Well, I'm going with Summit, but man,
Independence.
that's
Independence
big time.
Arlington.
First round, yeah, Independence. We're throwing Hassel. They're not. You can't win if you can't score runs, Dr. Qualls.
I got you. So it looks like second round. We're going to stop right there because this thing is you need a doctorate to understand the baseball bracket, and you don't have one.
Pretty
So
no.
So Summit Farragut. Bradley,
Prager does. He has a doctorate in bracketology.
Well, that's you're going to have one to
Maybe we can
understand.
get him on the show.
Double-A state tournament time. This is a pretty cool story. Nolensville, man. Talk
Big
about
time.
dramatic fashion. Talk about that game. How did Nolensville punch their ticket to the Double-A state tournament?
Well, first of all, it goes. We have to talk about it.
I know you're going to talk scheduling, and you're going to talk about overall records.
Well, 3 years ago, 2 games. They won 2 games.
And didn't even play on their home field, by the way.
Didn't
even
play on
have
their
a
home field. Didn't even practice on their home field.
Yeah.
Had to take buses. Coach Hester, the AD at the time, and you all had to, and Coach Hudson had to arrange for buses to take them to practice. We talk about practice.
Practice. That district AD should have been fired.
And 2 wins, man. I don't care who you are. That's tough, right? Going through that. 2 wins, and we can't even practice. We talking about practice? And so
Practice. We had to have dirt hauled in for one of them parks and recs over
That's
there
right.
from Hickman County to even get that thing level to play on for practice.
I know.
And then have charter buses taken over. Couldn't you take the yellow bus?
Hey, they went in
It
style.
was the
though.
finest team you've ever seen.
They were
ride
on the
charter
road, but they
buses.
went in style.
Williamson County Parks and Rec. You got dump trucks of dirt out there, and here they come.
That's right. So 2 wins, right? That's tough. That's not fun to go through. But we're building towards something here. I do think that, I really do. I don't think it's a coincidence. Coach Hudson was a part of that at Summit, when they were building that program up. Been through it, knew what it looked like. Had been with a guy that had done it. Anyways, next year, they're so close last year. And then, like you said it all along. How many losses does Nolensville have?
Nolensville's coming in at 21-14.
21-14.
They've got more losses than anybody else in the bracket by a significant amount. Haywood's coming in at 20-13. That's West Tennessee baseball. We all know that that's shaky at best. Forest is coming in at 16-14. Not sure.
They're good. They've had some
I don't
good
know how
games.
accurate that is, but you got to think 14 of their losses. 2, 3 came from obviously Nolensville because Nolensville did
Correct.
not lose
That's right.
in the district play or tournament. But 21-14, those 14 losses did not lose a district game. So talk about
No,
those
that's what I was
losses.
going to say. To quote Coach Hudson, we're not worried about the record on the left. We're worried about the record in the parentheses. And the record in the parentheses had a big 0 on the other side. They were undefeated in the district. You know what I'm saying? They lost to the AAA guys, and that's what he was doing. He was getting ready for this state tournament. So anyways, 3 years later, they're in the state tournament. They get to Greenbrier. They're down 3-1, Dr. Qualls, 3-1. If we lose, we're going home. What do? They battle back. They battle back. They battle back. They get the 5-3 win. I think part of that toughness and the way they walk off and the way they work and that schedule, and I think that's what got them through. They'd been through it, and Coach Hudson's taken
Congratulations to Coach Hudson. Zach Hudson's done a
the right
phenomenal
way,
job.
man.
First graduating class. I just got
Shout out to his dad, Terry Hudson, who taught him all the baseball he knows.
I did not know his name was Terry Hudson.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Had a player at Lexington named Terry Hudson.
Yeah, man.
Called him Pap.
Pap.
Pap Star, it's for you. Anyway, you're talking about they just got their alma mater this week. Now here they are in the state tournament. They're going to face Elizabethton, 26-8 off the bat. I don't know anything about these AA teams, but I can promise you right now, unless they've played fair getting some other AAA teams over there, I would dare say that none of these teams are battle tested like Nolensville will be coming in. No. They haven't faced the arms, they haven't faced the talent, they haven't faced the quality of opponent that they will. But you got to go out there and you got to play now. I mean, you can't be shell shocked. You got to you got to get out there and hit Carson Roble. You know what he's a finalist for?
WILLCO's.
Yeah, but you know what category? And it's not baseball. He's one of their best players. Boys bowling.
No way.
I love those dual sport athletes. Let me tell you, Carson, if he's watching this, he was super excited.
He needs an award just for that.
Super excited about getting his bowling golden ticket. I mean, it was like, yes.
That is awesome.
He's fine.
You want to talk about coaching tree, man? All three of those guys, Kirby, Hudson, Clory.
Yep.
What are they?
They're all baseball coaches.
They're all Middle Tennessee, Steve Peterson.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I've never thought about that.
That's not a coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. It's an
A little
interesting
bit.
nugget
Zacky's
there
a little
for
bit
you.
younger than the other two, but
That's an interesting nugget for our Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer, hey, let's throw some stats out real quick. We're talking about how we completely own Spring Fling, and we do. Only one sport eluded us this year. I want to give a shout out to Coach Stevenson.
No, and I thought we were there, man.
Summit Ladies Spartans had an unbelievable year from softball. Nothing to hang your head about. They did get beat 7-0. Springfield had to go early. Springfield don't even have any lights. I called my boy Dustin Wilson up there at AD. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" They had to play their game at 4:30. He said it was a big thing for they had everybody come out, support that, in that rural sector. Congratulations, Springfield. But Lady Spartans, what a year, 27-8. Just a matter of years, a few years ago.
Yes, she's done an unbelievable job.
Right there. Hey, here's some numbers for you as we're going off the air. Girls in track, we represent 18 events, 18 athletes, 6 teams across the entire WCS Sports Conference. On the boys' side, 19 events, 5 teams, 16 athletes. Jet Kinder leads the way before Davis Bove, another WCS WILLCO's finalist with 3 events. Skylar Coffey up for Male Athlete of the Year. He's going to be in 2 events. He's favored in one and second currently in the other. You got Gabriel Sleenhoff, multi-sport athlete, also WILLCO's finalist up for 2 on that side. So I think that's really cool to note all the athletes we've got going. So, well, I look forward to you putting a headband on and us having our pentathlon. It's going to be fun. I'll smoke you by 500 points.
Where's the event?
I don't know.
It can't be in Centerville. You don't have a high jump pad.
We just use foam rubber thrown off in garbage bags. It's great, man. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.